4 months in, I know this, but just whenever this video happens to come out, how many other YouTubers have you met with, not military specific?
We met the chicks. No, I'm gonna do them in order. So we met the chicks, then we met Jax Austin, and then we met Amy Landino. We met Tom DeSico, Nava the Beast, Bully Juice,
Matt Ward.
Matt Ward.
So that's 8.
Yeah, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that's a spread of different things, right? Different
Genre.
Yeah.
genre, there you go. Yeah,
Professional speakers, motivational. Cody Wanner, I don't think we mentioned him. We met Cody Wanner.
9. Well, but then we had a meetup and we met like Logan.
Yeah.
So that's like 10 or
Logan
11.
Tremelin.
Yeah. So a healthy dozen in the 4 months, and more scheduled?
Hopefully when we get to Dallas, maybe.
So with the different amount of people you met and interviewed, what was the extent of their success? Small ones starting out or super big ones?
The family that we did Monday Night Live, the Ohana Adventure.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
And they have like 1 point some million.
Do they really?
We met people from...
You just get in here.
Okay. We have met other creators with 100 to a couple million subscribers.
Like 100,
Really?
like 100.
Yeah.
To
100 mil? Well,
no, like 100. Like
I was like, who's got
100
100 million?
Like 100 subscribers.
Oh, okay.
To millions of subscribers.
Okay, so that's pretty cool, because I'm sure, like, as creatives or professionals, like being able to rub shoulders with people like that. Like, how is that? Like, when you get next to, you said it was the Ohana family that had
the
over 1
Ohana
million?
Adventure.
So, like, when you're hanging out with people like that, how does that? Where you're like, oh, we should do that.
This may be crazy to everybody.
They're just normal.
But it's so
It's
normal.
Is it
like
really?
it wasn't like.
It's like hanging out with us.
It wasn't like they
right
did
now.
anything differently than what we were doing. We were both working hard. It's just a matter of like they've been
the more people that watch
doing that thing longer.
Mm-hmm.
So like their stuff started to grow when they had a family and they started documenting their family stuff, because family vlogging like can usually grow pretty good. And they're a pretty energetic family. Like
they also had viral videos. They would do things like sliding down their stairs.
And they have a really good like vibe. Their family is like very energetic. They're fun.
I remember
they're
watching
open,
that one.
honest and kind.
You guys played some card game with them, right?
Yeah, so they do live streams every Monday night, and we were guests on their Monday Night Live.
Okay.
That's
pretty cool.
Yeah, we've hung out with them. Everybody that you meet is so normal, regardless of the number of eyes that are on them.
Right.
You see the amount of subscribers, because like with us, we have about 73,000 on Got Love. Kyle has 150-some thousand on his channel, and I guess he's pretty normal.
I was like, oh man, when they come over, I gotta try and like act a certain way. Like, I have 200,000 subscribers walking into my apartment.
I probably don't act like most people would think. Like I'm like very like like
everybody
I'm not like welcome back to our video today. Like I'm the opposite of like what YouTubers are. You know, like I'm the opposite. Like people like, you're a YouTuber, and I'm like, like what? Yeah, like I'm just very.
Well, thankfully, all the people we've met and all the people that we kind of keep in our friend group in the YouTube world, everybody's on that like normal level, no matter how many subscribers they have. Like we're just hanging out with them, like we're hanging out with you. You know, like now you're one of the YouTubers.
So it'd be like the same as like vice
meet,
versa. It's like imagine just us with somebody else that's bigger than us, but you're just kind of like, well, you just start to after. Like you were saying, you're not around a lot of YouTubers and stuff. Right. But like once you get around a lot, you just start to realize you're just like, everybody's normal. Like whether you have 5 million, you're like, sometimes you're like, well, they have 5 million. But then you talk to them for 2 minutes and you're like, oh, they're just normal.
They don't want to be treated a different way just because they have a bigger amount of subscribers.
That makes sense.
Like someone coming up and being like, oh my gosh, Karye Makenna. Not many people do that. There've been like maybe a handful of people who have, but it's just like, I would rather just someone come up and be like, oh hey, what's up? And like talk to me like that, and not talk to me like they worship us because they watch our videos. Right. But just being like, hey, you're normal and I know about your life. It's like, sweet.
Yeah. You know? What you were saying about what they do though, like is there anything they do that we should do? And pretty much just work all the time, or everything you do is intentional. So like even when we were with the Ohana Adventure, like after the kids went to sleep, the husband, Jace, was working on his laptop, doing emails and running his other business that they run on top of their family blog.
Wow.
And so, like, we were having a conversation, but he was still, like, doing emails while me and him were talking, like, for an hour, just chatting. But, like,
so
everybody's still working all the time. Like, it's a nonstop. When you work in the social media realm, like, it's not like, you know, everything just stops once you clock out for the day. It's constantly going. That's what it's like. It never stops. It's continuous.
But it's also really helpful to hang out with those people because say we're hanging out with people who don't do YouTube, but we're over here being like, man, we gotta work, but then our friend wants to like keep talking to us, and then we're like, okay, yeah, and then we gotta work. But when you're with other YouTubers, everybody understands, and it's like, hey, I gotta work, and they're like, hey, me too. We can hang out and work.
You can literally be talking, and then all of a sudden nobody's talking for 10 minutes.
There's been times
and
where
it's not
everybody's
awkward,
just like
this
in
awkward
the same
silence.
room working, and then but it's normal. It's not awkward because everybody understands it.
But that also spills into the next question, I guess you'd call it, is that after seeing so many different varieties, what do you notice that they do that other people who try and do YouTube, like what do they do that they're lacking? So I guess that kind of spills into it. Like someone who like starts out, like there's a couple people who have messaged me, they're like, hey man, you've inspired me to do a YouTube channel. I say, okay, cool, let me subscribe to you and see what you're doing. And they do, not that I'm saying anything about it, but they do one video and I haven't seen anything in 4 months.
Yeah.
So obviously I guess like posting a video would help there. But so what do you see in like the Ohana family or you know,
anybody else who does it?
And compared to someone who's like, hey, I want to do it, and
consistency, like you said. And even if that's somebody who wants to start out and you're like, I cannot put out a video a week, start with a video every 2 weeks or start with a video every month. Like, it's okay to be like, hey, the first of every month is when I release my video, but keeping yourself on that schedule, and then after you do it and you're like, oh, I could probably step up my game, and then do like once every 2 weeks or then do once every week. And then maybe that's the schedule that you want to stick with. But everybody kind of has their flow of like when they post, even though we have changed ours many, many times.
So I would say with that stuff is all the YouTubers we've met, you know, you're like, what do they all have kind of in common? And they posted a lot of YouTube videos. Like you don't hang out with somebody and they're like, yeah, I've posted 5 videos and I have 30,000 subscribers.
Right, yeah.
You know, it's like, these guys are like, yeah, I've been making videos for 8 years. I've been posting on YouTube for 4. And you're like, wait, you were making videos before you even posted on YouTube? Like, but they had the skill before they got on YouTube, or if they didn't have the skill when they got on YouTube, like for me, for instance, I started posting videos on YouTube in 2007. It's been 12 years now that I've been posting videos. I've literally clicked upload on YouTube for 12 years. Like, that's not something where just, you know, in 2015 or 13, I'm like, I'm just gonna make videos now. And then it's, if you look back at all these people, they've built some sort of skill. And so with social media, it looks easy, but you look at like the Ohana Adventure, the husband had already built his own company that was making a lot of money. So he already understood the whole business side of things. So when they started a channel, the business stuff for him was simple.
Right.
But then you look at other people like, well, I want to start a channel. That'd be cool. Like, a lot of these people have no experience with business stuff.
Right.
They have no experience with marketing. They have no experience with editing. They have no experience with almost anything that goes into it. And so I would say a lot of these people that start, the reason they're not successful is because they haven't given themselves years of experience in some skill that incorporates into being a social media influencer in a way. Because it's not just a matter of recording a video, editing, and posting it. You also have to understand why you're posting it, who you're posting it to, what companies you're trying to work with, if you are trying to work with companies, who your market is. Like, you have to understand all of that. And a lot of people might look and go, well, this person has millions of followers, so like I can just post the same thing and I'll get a million. But they fill that niche somehow versus what are you providing that person isn't. So
do you think a good philosophy going into it is, I'm in the military, I could do that, I'm going to start doing videos? Or do you think it's like, well, you know, after 10 videos you're going to be like, oh, this is a different beast? Yeah. Do you think anyone could be a military YouTuber? I think anybody could, because the basic premise of like, so take for instance, Nava the Beast is the most successful military YouTuber there is right now. He makes entertainment content. I make informational content. So I'm probably like the second biggest military YouTuber. But there's a huge gap between me and him. He's twice my size. He started way sooner
or more recently than I did, but he makes entertainment stuff. In the entertainment sphere, it's a lot harder to grow. In the informational sphere, there's several informational YouTubers that have over 1,000 subscribers or 2,000, and a lot of us aren't the most entertaining people. We don't have the best personality.
You just have the information that people are
personality-wise, I am probably one of the last people that should have a big following on social media. But the reason why I have such a big presence is because I've helped so many people. I'm not trying to entertain you guys. I'm trying to help you guys.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't take a personality to help you. It's just, is he giving me the information to help me? That's what matters. So I think anybody could be a military YouTuber, but you also have to pay attention to, do you have what it takes to be an entertaining military YouTuber? I don't know, because most people probably don't. But informational wise, everyone's always looking for information. Yeah. And so for somebody that searches information content on the internet, they're probably not looking for one person. Like if you're looking for military experience, like if you and me have the same job, I guarantee you somebody that's interested in our job would watch both of our videos religiously. And it wouldn't matter about our personalities. They're just trying to take in as much information about that exact thing. It doesn't matter who's posting it.
That information stuff, I think that's a good point that you said, is that stuff is always renewable in a sense.
Yeah.
I have a couple tips for people who are watching this and maybe want to become a YouTuber or maybe a military YouTuber, because these guys are military related, so you're probably watching this video for that reason. But don't compare yourself to people who are bigger than you, because say you start posting videos like what it's like in basic training, what it's like in tech school, and maybe these guys already did it, and then you're like, wow, well he has more subscribers than me, and he has more subscribers than me. You just started. So give yourself time to grow, and don't be like, well, I posted the same videos these guys did and I don't have this many.
I had like 50 some videos on my channel before I even hit 100 subscribers.
Oh, really?
So you're like looking at a lot of people and they're like, I've posted 5 videos and I have 10 subscribers. And I'm like, dude, when I had posted 5 videos, I had 2 subscribers. But like people compare their now to other people's now instead of like the chain that it actually went.
So be appreciative of each milestone that you hit. So say you get 100 subscribers.
I hit 100 subscribers at one point in time.
Yeah, instead of being like, well, I only have 100 and he has 1,000. Be like, I just hit 100 subscribers. And then when you get 110, it's like, oh my gosh, 110. Like, be appreciative of each milestone that you hit for yourself.
People can tell when you're only doing it for subscribers and you're not actually doing it for other people to be a helpful person, which is one of the personality traits that I think will make you suffer on YouTube, is when people can tell you're fake, then they're not going to support you. And so if it comes off that you're only doing it for yourself and you're just like, well, why don't I have this? Why don't I have this? It's just like, it's not something that people want to support. So I think if you just appreciate it, people are going to support it way more.
Enjoy the journey to get there.
And I'm super guilty of doing that too. Like what you said, McKenna, is I was like, maybe sort of like the reverse in a sense, is I was like, man, Kyle's already got, so many views on this kind of video. But then I also said like, well, his content's like, that was like 3 years ago or something.
I'm glad you said this. Another thing is,